You don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems, or as I like to translate it, to your habits. Now, I would love to take credit for this quote, but actually, this is James Clear from one of my favorite books, Atomic Habits. I just realized that that is not. Oh, no, it is reversed for you. Okay, good. You can read it. Atomic Habits. It's a great book. Hi there. If you are new to my channel, I'm Kelly Gable, and I'm the creator of the Tech Savvy Academy. The Academy was created to teach you how to find and maintain balance using affordable automation as you grow your thriving solopreneur business. But tonight, I'm doing something a little bit different. So I've just recently, actually, we're kicking it off right now, a free challenge, 30-day challenge to help you build better business habits. So I'm here live to kind of kick off this challenge and get you started choosing your habit and getting ready and excited to really create some massive change in your business and honestly in your life over the next month. So grab that notebook, that new one that I know you've been dying to use, and grab a pen and let's get started. Okay, so let me just start by saying how excited I am to talk to you guys about habits tonight. Because in case we just met, if this is the first video you're watching, I'm maybe a little bit obsessed with habits these days. But I think for good reason, because the more and more that I learn about the psychology behind habits, the more I'm convinced that they are the secret behind success, especially solopreneur success. So for the next 30 days, we're embarking, hopefully because you're watching this, you are going to join me in this. We're embarking on a journey together to build better business habits, but we're going to only build one. Yes, I said one. Now, I know if you're like me, you probably have a list of things that you want to do, that you want to add or change or start doing in your business. You're an overachiever because you're a business owner. You're an entrepreneur. We all are. I think it's in our DNA. But I think you're going to find that if you try to create too much change too quickly, you're going to find a new version of burnout. So I'm here to stop that from happening to you. Okay. I'm going to give you this boundary so that you can rest easy and relax and just choose one habit for this challenge. Okay. Now you may be struggling to come up with just one. I understand if you have a huge list, then it might be difficult for you to decide, okay, well, which one should I do for this challenge? Which one is the most important and all of that? So that's really what I want to focus on tonight. I want to give you some really simple tips to help you narrow it down and choose the best habit for you right now. I am going to refer to my notes, so I apologize that I'm not looking directly at you the whole time, but I don't want to leave anything out. I want to make sure that I touch on everything that I plan to talk to you about tonight. So please bear with me as I do that. But let's just we're going to talk about 5 different tips, different focus points for you as you are narrowing down and choosing the habit that you're going to use for this challenge. Okay. The number one thing is that this needs to be something that you can take action on daily. Now, let's put a pin in that because I know your brain is probably saying, well, but what if? Okay, I will come back to that in a minute and we will talk about it because I understand, I know all the what ifs. We will talk about it and I think you'll understand and see where I'm coming from on that. Okay, number 2, it needs to be just a single task. Okay, what I mean by that is if you desire to create a more productive morning routine, right? Maybe you don't even have a morning routine and so you want to create a morning routine. We are not in this challenge going to create the entire morning routine at once. We are going to choose one component of that routine. So maybe you're going to read for 30 minutes every morning, or maybe you're going to journal for 1 page, or maybe you're going to do some sort of morning movement, yoga, or, if you're crazy like me, sometimes you're going to do something a little bit more intense and do a HIIT workout. You're not going to try to do all three at once. You're just going to pick one. Okay. Number 3, you're going to focus on a specific area in your business that you know needs improvement right now. So for example, if productivity is a challenge for you right now, if you find yourself, having all these great plans of things that you need to get done today, and instead you spend your morning doom scrolling on social media, or you go down a TikTok rabbit hole, then probably what you want to focus on is something regarding the first thing that you do every morning, right? And this may be a situation where you need to swap a bad habit for a good one. So if you have right now found yourself immediately looking at Facebook or Instagram or one of those things the first thing in the morning, instead of doing that, you're going to choose something different that is going to be the first thing that you do in the morning. Okay. And it doesn't mean that your social media becomes the second thing, but what this means is that you are going to control your outlook for the day. You're going to control your mindset, and you're going to start by controlling your productivity. By not giving that time to other people, you're going to focus on it for yourself. Okay. Number 4, you're going to leverage technology to help you stay on track. And this one I'm definitely going to come back to again in a minute. And then the last one is to have a plan for accountability. And this is exactly why I'm running this challenge, because honestly, when we do things as a community, I don't know the statistics, but we are so much more likely to succeed. And while I don't know the specific statistics on that, I know from my own experience that when I am held accountable by someone else, and vice versa, right? When somebody else is being held accountable by me, when we're doing this together, even if our habit that we're doing is different, I know that I am far more likely to show up for myself and for this other person or this community that I want to show up for, that I want to be there for, right? So that community aspect is a huge part of it. So if you're watching this and if you missed the boat on this challenge, then I encourage you to stay tuned and, maybe sign up for my newsletter so that you don't miss the next one, because being a part of the full challenge means also having access into the Facebook group where we're going to have our daily accountability. You're also going to get regular emails from me to help, keep you on track, help you out if you're running into any struggles or challenges as you work on this habit. So there's a lot more to it than just making this plan right now. So I really hope that if it's not too late, if you're catching us in the first couple of days, that you jump into the challenge right now. And I did pin a comment to this video that shows you where you can do that. But I want to make sure that you jump into the full experience so that you don't miss out on that community aspect, that accountability that is so vital to helping us build new habits. Okay. Thing is, though, if nothing is coming to mind, as I list off all of those tips, and there are more, okay, there are plenty more. So if you still need help narrowing things down, this is where it's great for you to either hop in the comments here or over in the Facebook group, and we can talk it through and I can help you hone in on what the best habit for you right now is going to be. But let's say even doing that, there's just nothing coming to mind. Then I would like to make a suggestion. So I am right now reading the book High Five Habit by Mel Robbins. This is something I'm reading for a future episode of the podcast, but what she's talking about in this book, it's really a lot around solopreneur mindset. And the habit that she's referring to, this high five habit, is as simple as it comes. It is literally every morning, not necessarily first thing you do, but it can be the first thing you do, that you stand, you look in the mirror, you look at yourself, and instead of seeing all of those negative things and having all those negative thoughts that we naturally have, you instead look at yourself as you truly are. You're kind of looking at your inner self, and then you literally high five yourself in the mirror. And I will be the first one to admit it sounds weird. And honestly, it feels weird. I started doing it a couple of days ago when I started reading the book. And you know what? I'm not totally sold on that particular movement for me, although I'm sticking with it because as we build new habits, we need to give them the time to become a habit and become a routine and see if they're really doing what we were hoping they would do for us. So I'm going to stick with it. But I think it would be a really great suggestion if nothing else is coming to mind, because really what she's working on is helping you build a habit of belief in yourself. And who couldn't use more of that, right? It's a great place to start. It's super simple and it takes almost no time. So if that struggle is something that you are coming up against, that challenge of choosing a habit right now, I highly recommend that you go with that one. And then maybe when the next challenge comes around, you'll have a different one in mind. Okay. Checking my notes really quick to make sure I have not missed anything. Okay. So here's where we're going to come back to that first tip I mentioned, where it needs to be something you can take action on daily. Now, I know that the thing that you might have decided that you want to do for this challenge, that you want to add to your business, might not be a daily activity, right? It may be that you want to start sending out a weekly newsletter, or you want to post on social media 3 times a week, something like that. So that might feel like a habit that you cannot do every single day. And I honestly, this was a belief that I had early on with my, when I started with my habits, because there are tons of things that I want to build into my business, especially that are not daily activities. But when you're building a habit, if you don't do some aspect of it every single day, it is so much more difficult to actually make that a habit, make that a routine. So what I recommend is break up whatever this habit is. Let's just go with the social media 3 times a week thing. Break that up into subtasks so that you can do a piece of it every single day. So maybe day 1, you are planning the topics for each of those posts for that week. And then maybe day 2, you're creating graphics. And then day 3, you are writing your captions. Day 4, hashtags, and so on, right? So make it something that you can do a little bit of work on, make some progress on every single day, even if the ultimate task or the ultimate habit itself is not a daily task. You tracking with me? If you're struggling to figure out how to break it up that way, totally fine. Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the Facebook group. We'll talk it through. We will find a way to make it work. Okay. Okay. Now let me move on to the next thing. Yep. Okay. I caught all that. Okay. So then what I want to get to now is, and I mentioned that I was going to come back to this as well, the technology that you need to leverage in order to help you stay on track. I know that we all have different tools and different ways that we stay on top of our schedule and things like that. I am going to encourage you, for the time frame of this challenge, to try the tool that I am suggesting. It may be that you ultimately then transfer this concept into your own tool or into a pen and paper or however you normally like to do things. But I would love you to give this a try just for 30 days and see if this automation, this trackability, and these automated reminders make a difference for you when it comes to building a new habit. Okay. So what I did was, if you've watched any of the videos on this channel, you already know I'm going to say Trello, right? So what I've done is I've created a special Trello template just for you guys. And if you are registered for the challenge, you will get it in an email a little bit after this video, after this goes live. Or actually, it's already live after we're done with this live. And it's not too late. Like I said, it's not too late to join us. So you can click that link in the pinned comment to do that. And you will still get that link. But you will get a link to this Trello template that you can use for yourself. I have kept this super simple. Super simple. It's one board. 2 lists. That's it. It does have a little automation built in, so I will show you that. But I have shown things like this in the past. So habit tracking is something that my buddy James talks about a lot, extensively. And honestly, so do most of the people who talk about habits, because it's so important, not only for us to have that kinesthetic aspect of, checking off our to-do list, or in this case, digitally marking something complete. It does really help for us to take that physical step of marking it complete. But what I've built into this automation is your ability to see your progress as you go through the 30 days, so that you can look back and see all the consistency that you've built in your business and in this specific habit. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to show you this board. I did not cue this up, so hopefully it goes smoothly when I go to share this, but I'm going to talk you through it. I'm going to show you the automations real quick, and I'm going to just really quickly show you how to use it. There is a more complex version of this elsewhere on the channel, and if I can, I will link it in a card or in the description below. It's more of a cross-board automation. So if you're already using Trello, and rather than having a separate board, you want to kind of integrate it into your existing process, that is available. But I'm going to use the assumption that you don't already have Trello and that you don't already have a board like this. So we're going to do it in a simple way. So give me 1 second to present this for you. Share screen. I want the whole window. Sorry, bear with me. This is why I should have queued this up, but I didn't. Okay. So here we go. So here is the Better Business Habits Tracker. And I'm telling you, it's really, truly this simple. So you're going to, excuse me, you're going to take this card, and instead of it saying habit number 1, you're going to type into it whatever habit it is that you've decided to do for the next 30 days. Okay. Seriously, that simple. And then every single day, when you complete this habit for the day, you're going to mark it complete. You can do this on a laptop or a desktop or a tablet, or you can do it on your phone if you have the Trello app on your phone. Important that you build into this due date a reminder, okay? Even if you normally get annoyed by reminders, I'm going to heavily encourage you to use reminders for the purposes of this challenge, because I'm a firm believer that we use and benefit from having that reminder. And I would encourage you also, especially if it's a reminder on your phone, do not clear that reminder until you have completed the task. Make it sit there in front of your face, okay? You're going to want to set the time frame of the due date to around the time that you plan to do whatever it is. So if it's a morning routine kind of thing, set it to whatever your typical morning time is. If it's something you're going to do later in the day, you get the picture. So you're going to want to do that, and you're going to want to set the due date or the reminder at the time of due date. Okay. And then you're going to hit save, and you can start yours for whatever the next day is based on when you grab this template. So hopefully that'll be tonight, and you can set it for tomorrow. Okay. And making sure that that is there is going to guarantee that when this automatically recurs, it automatically resets itself, that reminder will happen every day. Now, if you have a day during the 30 days where you forget or you don't have a chance to do whatever, excuse me, don't have a chance to do whatever it was that you are, your habit for the day, I don't want you to mark it complete. Because if you mark it complete, it's going to do the automation to track it as something that you've done. And I will show you that again in a second. So if you don't get a chance to one day, it's okay, because we are learning new things and we're going to have setbacks and days that we get off track. So instead of marking it complete, I want you to just come in here and manually switch the due date to the next day so that you guarantee that you get your reminder the next day. Okay. can always start fresh tomorrow. So don't beat yourself up about it. Just make sure that you go in and manually move that due date so that it doesn't show up in the progress, but that it will remind you tomorrow. Okay. As for those automations, there are 3 automations on this board, and they will not be there when you create your board from the template. They won't automatically be there. So I'm going to show you right now what they are. And if you don't know how to create automations, then again, that's what the comments are for. That's what reaching out to me in the Facebook group is for. I will help, walk you through it or help you do it one-on-one. But you're going to want to have these 3 automations. The first one is going to be when the due date is marked complete. So when you manually mark it complete on that first list, then it's going to push that due date to tomorrow and then mark the due date incomplete. That part's really important because if you don't do that, then when tomorrow comes around, the system that is going to think that you've already done it and it's not going to remind you. And like I said, those reminders are key to this process. So make sure you have it mark it incomplete. Then you're going to create a separate automation that says when that due date's marked complete. So they're going to both be triggered at the same time. It's going to copy that card to the top of the other list. So it's going to copy it from here over here. Okay. And then the third automation is going to say that when a card is copied into that list, it's going to mark the due date complete. So let me show you. Oh, you know what? There's something I just realized I did not add to this template. I will add it. We will have a calendar view so that you can actually see your progress, on the calendar versus just in a list. So that will be there by the time you go and grab your copy of the template. But I'm going to show you what is going to happen when you do it. So we've got our habit number 1, and I'm going to go ahead and mark this complete, and then you can watch the magic happen. So I've marked it complete, and you can see right now it has set that due date for tomorrow and marked it incomplete. We've got that new card that just appeared on our progress list, and we can now see that it was marked complete. Although I just realized that set it for tomorrow, and I need to fix that automation because we want that to be set, to the due date to be set for the day that we actually moved it in there. So I will fix that, and I will make sure that the automation, I will have a list here that shows you how to set up the correct automation. Sorry. So I guess I have 2. I tested them and they worked differently this time. So it happens. So that is how this is going to work. And then as you continue to do that, this list is going to get longer and longer and longer. And at the end of the 30-day challenge, I'm going to be asking you to, in the Facebook group, post a screenshot of your progress, right? Not so that we can say, oh, you missed this day or you missed that day, but I want you to celebrate the progress that you've made and the consistency that you were able to generate from yourself within this challenge. Okay. So I am going to really quick stop presenting that and go back to my notes because I think we are just about done. If you do have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments here. I will check back. I know there will be people watching the replay as well, so I will check back and answer questions as I can, but make sure that you are signed up for the challenge and over in the Facebook group so that we can just communicate directly. Let me just see if there's anything I forgot. I don't think so. Yeah, it looks like we're good. So if you're in the challenge, you've already registered, then you will get an email in about 30 minutes that's going to give you the link to that Trello template, and all those things will be fixed, I promise. And if you think that you registered for the challenge, but you haven't gotten a bunch of emails from me today reminding you about this live, then you didn't register for this challenge. So make sure that you click that link and submit that all the way through, okay? Thank you for watching. And as always, the online tools for your business do not need to be complicated or overwhelming. It's time to let it be easy.